Okay, guys, good morning. So today we are going to discuss only matrix plots, as we already discussed. This matrix plot is a very, very important plot. We used to go ahead with the matrix plots for like what to say for the clustering purpose. We used to go ahead with your matrix plots. Okay, first I am just importing a Cbon and I'm just using the inline function of our matplotlib. After I done this, I'm just loading two data set. One is flights and another one is tips. So tips which we already seen yesterday. So the same data set I'm just loading. Okay. 1 minute. So we are having this two data set. So matrix, that is nothing but a plot which is used to make a clusters. Okay, main usage of matrix is to make a clusters, and it's used to encode the matrices. Okay. Uh, so now what we can able to do here is we can able to check something like tips dot head. So you will get the first file. So the next thing is when we are just going for a heat map. So this heat map is nothing but your matrix plot. Okay. So SNS dot heat map. So heat map is nothing but your matrix plot. Now when I am just giving tips, when I am just executing, let's see the answer. We are getting something like this, because we can't simply use only the tips. What we need to use is we can able to apply a mean or a correlation or something we can able to apply, but still we are just getting the same kind of output. Now what I can just give is a correlation still. Yeah, so we got the output. So when you are just going ahead with the heat map, you can able to plot the heat map with the help of correlation. CORR, that is nothing but a correlation. So what is this correlation is mean for? The correlation, that is nothing but the relationship between two things. That's what your correlation is. Okay. So let's we just have this data set and this plot together. See, total bill, tips, gender, smoker, date, time, size. You are having almost this much of data set here. Okay. So now what I'm just given here is I just apply the correlation. Okay. Correlation means relationship. Okay. So what is the relationship between guys? Any examples for relationship based example? Hmm. Okay. So you are going for a supermarket. If your family size is 5, the purchasing varies. Correct. You will purchase for 5,000, for example. If you are the only one person, then we will purchase for only 1,000 rupees. Okay. So the purchasing, the supermarket shopping will held based on the family members. Correct. Correct. Because like if the family size is increasing, the purchase rate also increase. If the family size is decreasing, the purchase rates also decrease, obviously. Correct. So the relationship, if the particular stuff is increase, the particular stuff will increase. We can able to make, if particular stuff is decreasing and particular stuff is increasing, like this also we can able to give some relationship. So depends on this, your output will come. So this is what your relationship is. Okay. So total bill, tip, gender, smoker, date, time, and the size. We are having almost this much. Okay. So now what we are actually going to do here is, now I just made a total size. I didn't done anything. See, I give a heat map, then I just give a correlation. So you got a total size, total bill, tip, and then size. Okay. So it is actually automatically took these things. So now what it's actually coming is, see this, everything is a 1. Okay, so this color is a 0.5 and this color is 1.0. So it's actually looks like a identity matrix. Correct. So when you are just having something like this is a identity matrix. Correct. So all these things are 1. So if we are comparing total bill and total bill, the answer you will get 1. Tip and tip, the answer you will get 1. Size and size, the answer you will get 1. So observing this, what I can given here is, if the total bill is in between two, so what is this color? So this color is match up to here. So the total bill is if 0.6 something. Okay. So the total bill is 0.6 something. The size may be less than 1, we can tell. So yes, the tip is something in between to 0.7 to 0.8. So if the tip, this is the identity because we are just making, so tip is 0.5. So this tip we are, so this I am comparing with the size, tips and the total bill. So tip with the size. So the size and the tip, which is almost less than 1 means your size also less than 1. But the bill you will get around 0.7 or something. But tip and tip, when we are just calculating, we'll get 1. So like this. Let's we go with one more example for heat map. As of now, just to understand how to plot the heat map. So the next thing is, what we are just going to make it here is, let's we go for one more example with this heat map. So I'm just giving a flights. So flights, that is nothing but the another data set which we read it from the SNS. Okay. So I get a head only because we have too much of data also first to understand. So what are the columns is here available? You are having an year, and you are having a month, and you are having an passengers. Okay, so for this year, this month, this much of passengers is traveled. Okay, so if I am applying on tile, then I will get the last 5, correct? So I got the last 5. Okay, it's all done now. Now what I'm just going to do is, I'm just going to make a correlation. So that is what the correlation, that is nothing but pairs, the strong relationship between two things. That's what your correlation is. Okay, the strong relationship between the two things is actually very, very important. So the relationship between the two data is actually used for us to understand what is exactly happening between this. Okay, so that's the theory here I given. Okay, so the correlation is nothing but a statistical technique that show whether the strong pairs of variables are related or non-related. Okay, so correlation coefficient of 1 means every positive increase in one variable, the positive increase of the fixed proportion in other. That nothing but when the values increase, the another value also increase. So if this kind of example means, you will get 1. So if the values increase, if the value is decreasing, then this kind of example will get the coefficient -1. And then 0 means that for every increase, there is a positive or negative increase. We can't tell. So if the coefficient is 0 means, it may be a positive or negative increase. Okay. So that's the thing. Okay. So here we are just applying a correlation for flights. Let's we apply correlation without the heat map and see how the result comes. We are getting output like this. So year and a passenger. So for year and year we'll get 1, and for year and passenger we are getting something. So this is a positive increase. Correct. So like, while the year is getting increased, the passenger list also getting increased. That's what here. So if it's 0.9 means it's related to 1, correct? So if it's 1 means the positive outcome is 1 means that is a positive correlation. That is nothing but if year getting increased, the passenger list also getting decreased. But in the history, first time in 2020, the passenger list gets decreased. So that is a different scenario. Okay, let's we go ahead with your heat map. So what I'm just going to do here, heat map is, like, okay, before we are starting with the flight heat map, I just want to make sure about little more stuff. Okay, so in the tips correlation itself, what I am just giving is a C map equal to color warm, sorry, cool warm. So this is nothing but you can give some other color. So by default, your heat map is giving in this color. Cool warm means you will get like this color, like red and blue combination. Okay, so then we are having a one more argument, that is nothing but you are not equal to true. When I am giving are not equal to true, the values will be written here. Okay, so then any other argument I need to explain? No, that's all. Okay, so like we just done this. Now what I'm just going to do here is when I am just checking flights dot, okay, here you see in this flight data we are having an year, month, passengers. Okay, now what I am actually going to do is I'm going to build the pivot table. We know what is pivot table is, correct? That's we discussed in our pandas. Okay, for this data set I'm going to make a pivot table. The reason is, anyhow I'm going to make a correlation, correct? The correlation, that is nothing but the relationship between two data. That's what your correlation is. So for that perspective, what I'm just going to do here is flights dot, so I just given this. Now what I'm just going to do here is I'm just giving a values as a passenger, index is a month, and a column as a year. Okay, values is a passengers, and index positions month, and the column names are year. Like this I just make a pivot table. So you got the pivot table. Okay, so after we got the pivot table, it's easy for us to understand, correct? See, what here we got here is year as your columns, and index as a month, and you got the passenger list as well. So observe this table. So in 1949, Jan is 112. In 1960, Jan is 417. So the years getting increased, the passenger, the flight travels passengers list also getting increased. Okay, that's what I told. It's a positive income. That's why in the correlation will be getting 1. Okay, because the year is getting increased, the passenger list also getting increased. Okay. So now the next thing is we'll be going to make a heat map. Okay, so heat map, how I am just going to do here is we make this pivot table, right? So I'm making a pivot table again, and I am assigning to the variable name. After we assign this to variable name, SNS dot heat map, the pivot table variable name is there, right? X dot, okay, X dot correlation. See the output, how it comes. So see, instead of observing in your instead of observing these things in your table, when we are observing in your like what is this called, a heat map, it is more easier for us, correct? Because in 1949 you can come to know it's 0.8, but in 1960 it's almost to 1. So we can able to observe this, how the variation is actually happening there. Okay, so I give a correlation, so you got from 0.8 to 1. But if I am removing this correlation, okay, given simply X, see, you will get the clear value now. So 400, 200, 300, this is actually more good, right? So here if you are not planning to go ahead with the correlation, with the help of the pivot table, you can able to make like this kind of stuff as well. So in 1949, the peoples are less than 200. In 1950, it is again less than 200. And 1951 is less than 200. 52 also almost 200 to 300. But in 1960, it's almost people's travel more than 500, near to 600 as well, right? So like this. Okay, now I am a flight company owner, for example. So now you are a data scientist for me. So now what I'm asking is, in which month we will get more passengers? Now this is my question for you guys. So how you guys will answer? So this is what kind of analytical project we'll get. See, in Jan and Feb, like we will get more offers, and in November, December also we will get more offer. Like if we are comparing the offers between the less travels and the more travels, we can able to find the difference. Okay, so I am telling you, like if I want to give like in which month I need to give what kind of offers. Now I need to make it. Okay. So for that perspective, is it the less travel month? I need to give a more offers. If it's a more travel months, I can able to give a less offers. So this is what I'm planning to do it. Correct. So if you are my data analyst, like what is your suggestion for me? Like how you guys will give me the result? I am asking you in which months we will get more passenger and in which month we will get less passengers. So how after you made this visualization, how you guys will tell me the result? Guys, understand the question?
Can you repeat the question, Mahira?
See, I am asking you, what are the months that we will get more passengers and what are the months we'll get a less passengers? Yes, exactly, Akash. In July and August. Correct. In July and August, we get more passengers. Correct. So what are the months we'll get the less passengers?
Jan and February.
Okay, moderate.
Moderate. November, December.
Comparatively to Jan and December, November we get very less passengers. Actually, this.
Yes.
So apart from this
Yes.
March, April or something, we can tell as a moderate. Okay. So like this, you guys needs to answer like, okay, like when they are asking the result, something like this, we can just tell based on the heat map. Okay. So I'm just giving a line width. So this line width means what it will do is, see here in between to this. So here you are having something and here you are having something, right? So it will give the space here. So that's what your line width is. Okay, when I am just giving a line width, I need to give a line color as well. So that is actually important. Invalid syntax. Why? Okay, I give a 2 comma. Okay, I'm not supposed to give in a pivot table. I need to give in heat map. See, I got the line width in a white color. So this is all nothing but to give more readable output. That's all. Okay. Now what I'm just asking you to do is cluster map. Cluster map is another map which is used to make more understanding. So this cluster map, I will give you the example with some other small data set because this is really little difficult to understand. So for that perspective, I'm just making you the cluster map with some other example. Okay. So see the output. This is your output. Okay, so this is a simple data frame which we made it here. So pandas.data frame d index like this. So this is your data frame. And here we have some variables name like width, height and d like that. That's all we have having because I'm using the figure. Okay, so now I'm just plotting a cluster map. So for to plot the cluster map, here I just having this cluster map. So see, cluster map means what it will do is, if this is your heat map, okay. So if this is your heat map, it will just cluster the related document. So this is one document and this is one document and like this is your final one like this it will make. So what it will do is, see this is my one, this is one and this is minus one. Okay. So this two thing is related. So it will make this two thing as a cluster. Okay, and for minus one, we don't have any other group. So what it will do is, it will just start with here and just combine here itself. So that's all. So here I am having a one more -1 and here I am having an 1. What it will do is it will cluster this two and this will just make like this. Like this it's used to cluster. So cluster, that is nothing but your heat map only, but it will make the related variables as a one group. So this is actually why we are using like this is, this will help us to understand this two thing is related. So this 2000 and 2001 is related, 2002 and 2003 is related. So to make this kind of related terms, and C and A is related. No, C and A is not actually related. Your A and B is related. So that's the reason we are having like this. And then C is a separate one. It's actually started and ending with the here like this. Okay. So this cluster map, which is used to tell which is all related to which each other. Okay. So this is actually used to make more hierarchical report. Okay. So this cluster map I made with this is a simple example to understand the cluster map. Here just I made the cluster map for your flight as well. So what it is telling, July and August is related, and then September and sorry guys. So July and August is related, and September is June is related. Okay. And then May and April is related, and April and December, December and November, October is related like this. So that's all nothing but in this month, we'll get the same kind of, what is this called? We'll get the same kind of business. Okay. So like this will help us to more categorical output. So for that perspective, we are having a cluster map as well. Okay. So just to have a look on this cluster map, and heat map is very, very important for the sales peoples, sales domain, data analytical people. Heat map is very, very important because they will use it to visualize everything based on the heat map itself. That's all. So today go through only this matrix plot. Tomorrow we are going to discuss about 3 plots. Plots are nothing but a distribution, regression, and then your pair plot. Okay. Regression you can't able to simply understand tomorrow. So it's a simple overview for the regression plot. So remaining 2 plots we will discuss. So, and I will give you the project doc. So any other questions?
No, ma'am.
Okay, guys, great. Guys, today and tomorrow I'm not able to use my WhatsApp. So if tomorrow 6:30 only, in case time changed means I will mail you guys.
Okay, ma'am.
Okay, guys. Bye. Take care.